What's up guys, it's Punchy, and today I have a very fun build that I really enjoyed playing. It was probably my favorite build besides my teleporting con, and you'll see why. If you watched the Deepwoken Tournament, I brought this build in and I got a couple dubs. So let's go right into this character, Blindfold Necessary. If you like Deepwoken's guns, you're probably a bit confused about the most recent patch. Check out my last video where I break down the new gun reworks and how its playstyle changed up. I think it's about time I make a new gun build, so I'll have to get used to this soon. Like and subscribe and enjoy. This build is named Blindfold Necessary. I'm using a Trident Spear and I've got the deferred enchant. I'm sure there's a lot of questions asking why about all of this, but I've got some answers. For the name, custom names usually go out to mods that do a lot of mod work, so I eventually picked one up. I don't often pick custom names because I don't really want to stand out, but it was for a meme. On my willpower builds, I spam the mantra Gaze. Gaze slows people, does damage, and gives insanity, but it doesn't affect blind players. Basically, my name says you need a blindfold to counter this build. Also, fun fact, the name Punchy comes from the word punch, like you're hitting something, but if we shorten that, we get the word pun. Here's a pun for you guys. If we take the first part of blindfold and necessary, we get blindness, like blindness. So there's an extra terrible pun for you guys. Now that's out of the way, onto my weird weapon choice. A lot of people don't like Trident Spear because, you know, there's better options, but I'm using a deferred Trident Spear for multiple reasons, and I think it's the most fun weapon on this enchant. I've tested with daggers and other weapons, but the alloy Trident Spear swing speed matches up best with the damage over time anti-parry frames. Basically, if you parry right after getting hit by this enchant, you'll get stunned and go into a panic state. Whatever you call it, this state messes with players and it's great for mind games, and I felt like swinging too slow or swinging too fast weakens deferred effectiveness, so I think Trident Spear works best with its slower swing speed and range. Deferred also has a few more secrets, but I'm a gatekeep, you won't know until you try it out for yourself. Onto my stats. My build is fully maxed out with 25 strength, 92 fortitude, 15 agility, 93 willpower, 2 charisma, and 100 in medium. I took a break from elemental builds and gave Blind Seer a shot. Speaking of which, Blind Seer mantras are definitely crazy, but they wouldn't work without my other combo pieces. My main damage mantra was Master's Flourish. It's a classic weapon ability that catches people off guard more than you think. I find myself sliding or jumping with this move, and it helped me get some healing, do some damage, or even sneak in an extra M1, so it's good. To complement my rushdown playstyle, I picked up Shoulder Bash to, well, get in and combo extend. After being hit with poison, it's harder to parry, and it's pretty easy to land this mantra on stunned players. One mantra I didn't actually see myself using that much was Strong Left. I found it harder to combo into with my spear swing speed, but if you time this well, you can send people flying and you can usually follow up with an M1. Now, possibly the best mantra in my build, Exhaustion Strike, lets me start combos, remove posture, and catch people lacking. I always jump with this move because the hitbox is giant and it's easier to hide your animation. For the most fun move, it's gotta be Sightless Beam. This insane giant laser is hard to combo into, but with Deferred's constant damage and anti-parry effect, sometimes you land this and it's the best feeling. With a blood gem, you do a ton of damage and heal back almost a bar and a half, so great ability, 10 out of 10. Sometimes I want some space from the enemy and I get sick of mantra spam. Boom, throw down Tranquil Circle and no more mantras. No projectiles can enter, nothing happens inside, only M1s. My weapon damage is great, so why not use this? And onto my favorite mantra in the entire game. Gaze with some Vibrant Gems and a Wind Gem ensures extra insanity damage and speed on every single hit. It's a great passive mantra to have on to give yourself speed buffs while stacking on some constant damage with the deferred enchant and insanity. Sometimes when both players have no HP, this mantra could save you. The final mantra I have is Rapid Punches to close the gap and get in some extra M1s. It's not really a problem since this mantra has such a low cooldown, but why not throw it out to catch people off guard? And the belt I've chosen for this build is the single shot Shard Bow. Since the damage it does is unrivaled, the extra hit changes the tide of battle easily. Also, I really enjoy the movement options that can be paired with a spear for some very fun interactions. If you've noticed, I talk a lot about my M1s because my damage is the best part of this build. The damage I do is actually kinda crazy and it's scary for people that don't know how to deal with damage over time. I'm getting a damage buff from Wyvern's Claw, more damage in the air, damage buff from Underdog, more damage from less HP, another damage buff from Last Resort, more damage at low HP, and Blade's Edge, more damage from the tip of my spear. I stacked all of these multipliers with the Omelet buffs and Ishin's Ring for some pretty crazy damage. I think this build truly perfects the overwhelming effect of stacking damage over time. My Poison Enchant does damage over time, Gaze damage and Insanity are passive as well, the talent Shared Misery gives my Insanity to the opponent, and the Spear Bleed talents help too. An interesting and fun bug I found that only happens with deferred spears is this crazy particle bug. Basically, particles emit, sounds break, and everything goes crazy once in a while. I think this happens because of the talent Lancer's Impale. Hitting somebody after a perfect dodge makes them bleed, but I think the enchant activates this a million times at once, so it's an extra unintended mind game. Here's the full talent list for this build. Now check out some fights. That's all for this build right now, and I really hope you guys try it out. If you sleep on spears or defer, this might be the best way to give it a shot. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe. Have a good one!